On the campus of the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana, welcome back as the Illinois High School Association proudly presents their 20th annual Boys Class A Basketball Finals. Well, good evening, everyone. Joe Passion back with you down here on Assembly Hall floor, and we have an extended pregame show to present to you this first half hour as we head into the Consolation game and then on to the Boys Class A Championship game later on tonight here on this station. First off, let's catch you up on how things went. We'll do that with our video files, and we'll start chronologically from Game 1 of the quarterfinals that took place on Friday afternoon. It was the McLeansboro Foxes against the Effingham St. Anthony Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs here in red rather, are going for the basket. Now, Benji Johnson, number 23, was the big star early on for McLeansboro. He kept Coach Kurt Reed's ball club in the game, but the guy, Tony Bryant, kept coming back with basket after basket. There's Bryant, number 45, and he was Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside from Assembly Hall. McLeansboro cleaning up here, 72-50 over St. Anthony for McLeansboro to advance on to the semifinals. The Foxes, though, proved that they had some things they wanted to accomplish to get ready for the semis, and they did it by bringing their big men outside. But as always, the three-point field goal is the shot of choice in Class A basketball, as both teams showed early and often here in this game. It proved to be a physical ball game, but again, Bryant leading the charge, and the passes to teammates helped out. And if they didn't make it, Bryant was right there to try and make it back up for them. But the Foxes, again, continually led not only by the shooting, but the passing of Benji Johnson and Tennyson getting that basket on the other end. And when they want to go to the go-to guy, always finding himself open, Benji Johnson, number 23. The amazing thing about the Foxes, of course, they got themselves into the semifinal, had a great battle there. Will be in the Consolation game. We'll tell you about that. Now, in Game 2 of the quarterfinal games, well, it had a featured game between the Orangeville Broncos and the Seneca Fighting Irish. The Irish in gold here the Irish here in green against the Broncos. And number 32 is Mark Avery. He has been the man of the hour and played one of his finer games for the Fighting Irish in their semifinal. But the Orangemen never let loose. The Broncos kept coming back, but every time they did, Aubrey was there with an answer, usually from three-point range. Setting up the other teammates as well, Aubrey found some help from their other teammates, and Seneca went on to the 10-point victory over Orangeville, 54-44, to advance to the semifinal. But the Broncos were not through. They weren't going to let the Fighting Irish run away with this one, and they kept coming back, making run after run late in the game, but the Fighting Irish fought off every one and came back themselves. The big inside player for Orangeville also allowed their inside game to thwart the attempts by the Fighting Irish to run away with this. But then Aubrey went to work. Found himself with a running J from the free throw line, and when this kid wants to drive, he can do that too, as well as play defense. Aaron Crawford, the steal and the layup, and Seneca is on their way to the semifinals. But wait, we got to get one more highlight of Aubrey, don't we? A little shake and bake move up the lane. He's got two more, and onward they go. And I'll tell you, the Seneca Fighting Irish team really brought a lot of fun. We'll see them in the finals. Now, quarterfinal game number 3. Let's go to the video highlights and see a look at that one. And you see two teams here in quarterfinal game number 3 that had an opportunity to really bring some excitement to the arena. Pittsfield against Rockford Lutheran. Rockford Lutheran here in blue getting the layup and the foul and caused the Saukees of Pittsfield a lot of trouble. But Pittsfield has a great player in number 40, Tony Baker. Baker found the layup there, and on the other end, Rockford Lutheran stayed with them. But Lutheran, with 3 players over 6 feet 6 tall, just couldn't out-rebound the hustling and the maneuvering of the Saukees underneath. Despite their lack of size, you can see hustle sometimes often beats 6'7". Pittsfield came out on this one 77-64 to up their overall to 26-6. In the closing seconds, the Saukees put in the final and come up with a big victory here. Down low, they kept going to the inside people for Rockford Lutheran. They were able to come up with the baskets, but unfortunately came up short. The guy who never comes up short, Tony Baker, number 40, the Saukeys' leading scorer, all-state player 2 years in a row, and he can go outside as well and hit from three-point land, as he has shown all the thousands of people that have been here at Assembly Hall all weekend long. This kid is just a freshman. Parks at 6'8" for Rockford Lutheran. They have two underclassmen over 6'6". This is the team from Rockford Lutheran we'll see back. But right now, Tony Baker making his mark for Pittsfield, and even on the break, they get the pass to the other end, give it to the muscle inside, and again, proving that aggressive style underneath beats even a 6'8" freshman. Now, come Friday night, the quarterfinal game headed into the finale, and it turned out to be the highlight of the 4 games played on Friday. Williamsville had a real difficult time scoring in this ball game. The Bullets in dark did not score a basket until late in the first quarter, but they made up for it from then. Patterson was their big gun, number 24, the 8th all-time leading scorer in Illinois State high school basketball history, got his team back from a 15-0 deficit, but coming right back to try and keep the Spartans of Stanford Olympia in the ball game with their outside shooting. But great passes from Patterson to his teammates were allowed them to get back into the game and get us there underneath, and then outside for the 3. And all of a sudden, the Bullets, down 15-0 early in the game, came back to take a lead very late in the third quarter. And all of a sudden, it seemed like a miracle could indeed happen. These Bullets that were blown out in the first quarter kept coming right back. In the closing seconds of this ball game, in overtime, the Bullets go to their go-to guy. Patterson keeps his balance, goes for the runner in the lane, and puts in the winning basket with just a second left in the game. Williamsville wins it by 2 in exciting overtime fashion. And that made for some great basketball and warmed up a crowd of nearly 13,000 here on Friday at Assembly Hall. Now, to look first off at the Class A teams that went on to the semifinals, well, here again is Mark Aubrey. Aubrey in the semis was able to get his ball club moving against McLeansboro. Aubrey got the outside shot, and the Southern Illinois town was all of a sudden throwing them up from Southern Illinois, and Aubrey was doing the damage from three-point land. Seneca holding out to win by 10 points here in gold, and they show that even Crawford, Aaron Crawford, can hit the big three-point shot and also get one there. McLeansboro, though, had a great player in Benji Johnson, who tried to keep his ball club in the ball game. Unfortunately, it came up a little bit too late. But we'll see more of the Foxes in the consolation game later on. Let's take another look now at the other semifinal game here earlier on Saturday. And it, too, turned out to be a pretty exciting ball game. The video highlights show a little bit of this and how they went. It was Pittsfield against Williamsville. Williamsville was the Assembly Hall darling after their Friday night overtime victory, but the Saukeys were here for the second year in a row, and they wanted to get to the championship for the first time in their 8 super sectional meetings. They've never been even to the semifinals, but now they'll be in the championship game. The Saukeys here again in white, going to their go-to people underneath and getting the big baskets, and that allowed the Saukeys of Pittsfield, and Coach David got into the ball game, and this ball club will be in the finals tonight. Now, let's take a look at the brackets here to give you an idea of how the teams got here. First off, Seneca over McLeansboro in Game 5 and the semifinals, and Williamsville losing out to Pittsfield 42-25, setting up the championship Class A basketball game, Seneca and Pittsfield, to be tipped off at about 8 o'clock tonight. Now, the super sectionals of Class AA basketball. You may want to know who's going to be here next week. Well, at Northwestern, New Trier with a big upset over Gordon Tech, taking on Libertyville in the Sweet 16 at Northwestern University on Tuesday evening. And at East Aurora, it will be Hillcrest against Waubonsie Valley in one of the other 2 Sweet 16 games. As we continue our bracket, as we look at more of the super sectionals. Who's going to come out of Southern Illinois? Well, at the SIU Arena, it'll be the Carbondale Terriers against one of the great all-time stories of high school basketball, Collinsville. And then at Hinsdale Central, it'll be Thornwood having the unfortunate hazard to run into what people are calling the UNLV of high school basketball in Illinois, Proviso East. As we continue our brackets, at NIU, it'll be Batavia, the big upset winner over West Aurora, taking on Prospect. And then at Chicago in one of the in the final will be Marshall against Westinghouse. Marshall, a big upset of King High School in the Chicago Public League semifinals. Well, that's how the AA brackets look right now as we go into the continuation of what Assembly Hall will look like next week. Down here on the floor, we have an opportunity to talk to Joe Muschel. Joe has been an Associated Press sports writer and has covered this tournament and many others for over 35 years. You've seen a lot of great players come and go. How do you rate these Class A field here today, Joe?
Joey, I don't think this is one of the weaker Class A fields that we've run into. The Class A has turned into a good tournament, but this year, for some reason, I don't know why, the better teams were all knocked out, and so far, I have not been excited in this tournament. I hope that maybe in the championship game, something may happen to turn that around.
I hope we have something to excite you about as well, Joe, because hang around, we're going to be back. First off, let's take this break, and we'll be back with the Illinois State High School Basketball Tournament. The finals in boys Class A are coming up from Assembly Hall. Stay with us. Tournament telecast is brought to you by, for more than 20 years, Country Companies Insurance. You've got the country behind you. The dairy farmers of Illinois and Wisconsin who remind you to drink your milk. It does a body good. And the Toyota dealers of Illinois. I love what you do for me, Toyota.
Illinois Championship High School Basketball is brought to you on Fox 55 and 27 by American Family Insurance. All your family protection under one roof.
I lent my car to my brother, and he demolished it. 2 years old, didn't have a scratch. Funny, about a month before my agent had recommended this extra keeper coverage, $21 more a year. I remember thinking, well, I probably don't need it, but if you think so, turns out they gave me a brand new car. This year's model.
Country Companies. It's nice to know when it matters most. The country's behind you.
Guess it's just a matter of trust.
There are hundreds of ice creams to choose from, but one brand is truly outstanding. Prairie Farms.
Prairie Farms ice cream is made the old-fashioned way, with country, fresh, quality ingredients and all natural flavors. It's Mid-America's favorite ice cream. In cones, as a snack, anywhere, anytime. Prairie Farms, home of country, fresh, quality dairy products.
We're very privileged to be bringing you live play-by-play coverage of the Consolation game this year from the Class A Boys Basketball Finals. And with me, one of those Consolation members, Kurt Reed, the head coach of the McLeansboro Foxes. Furthest your school's ever got. I know that's got to be a high even coming off the semifinal loss. Give us an idea of the emotional barometer of your ball club coming in here.
Well, first of all, this is not the farthest this school has ever gotten. We have won it in 1984. We've gotten third one year, and we got fourth one year. A little correction now. Your question again? The
emotional barometer, how the kids feel.
They're excited. Of course, a little let down from this afternoon. We would, as all teams, want to be in the championship game, but we hope that we can rise to the occasion. We've got 2 or 3 kids that we had to come down about 20 minutes early because of injuries, and Shane Tennyson possibly has a chipped bone in his thumb. Of course, Brian Neal injured his ankle in the game earlier. Benji Johnson got hurt in the game earlier. And Roger Phelps, of course, turned his ankle a little bit more than it was already. So physically, we may not be the best shape in the world, but emotionally and psychologically, hopefully we are.
You've seen all the games here, Kurt, this weekend. Give us your thoughts on the championship game tonight, pitting Seneca and Pittsfield.
Both teams are extremely talented. Both teams are extremely well coached. Of course, both teams have all-staters, and that's going to be a heck of a matchup, I'm sure. And matter of fact is, both teams are averaging less than 1 point per game, per season, away from each other. And defensively, it's only about 3 points a game away from each other. So I would say it's going to be a heck of a championship game. We're just unhappy and kind of unfortunate that we can't be there. And I'm sure the 8 teams that came up here feel the same way. But I feel it's going to be a heck of a game.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing your consolation. Thanks for coming over, Kurt.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring Kerry McVickers into the picture here. And we have an opportunity now with Williamsville to bring some pride back in. A little bit more pride than just being here. You have a chance to win a third-place trophy. Give us an idea of the emotional barometer of your ball club coming in.
Well, you know, they really do think it's important to go away with third place. It'd be nice to be one of the 2 teams in Class A that get in with the win. You know, I think that'd mean a lot to them. And they're ready to play tonight.
Physically, I know you don't get a lot of rest in between the semifinals and this consolation. Do you feel your kids' legs will be there?
Well, you know, it is our 3rd game in 18 hours, and the style of play we use with the full court and the scrappy style of play we've got to use because of our lack of height, that might be a problem.
All right, Coach, have a great game out there. We enjoy having you with us.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Kerry McVickers, and we want to set you up now with our play-by-play announcers that'll be handling the consolation game. Let's move it over to Dick Ludke and Greg Stair.
Thank you, Joe. It is the 3rd place game here between McLeansboro and the Bullets of Williamsville. It's not the game that these two wanted to play today, but it is for 3rd place. 3rd place, Greg Sterick, is better than 4th, and sometimes these games are very entertaining. This one has a good chance to be, I think, because we have some great players from both squads.
Well, I'm looking for a really entertaining basketball game. As we heard from both coaches, they feel like their ball clubs are very ready to play from an emotional standpoint. Williamsville may be just a little bit tired, a little fatigued, but I look for a real interesting basketball game. And one thing these 2 ball clubs have, they have marquee players.
Well, John Patterson is the guy who makes things go for Williamsville. He was shut down pretty well in this afternoon's game, but he's had a good tournament, and he's the 8th scorer in all-time Illinois history.
Well, as you mentioned, he is the 8th leading scorer in Illinois basketball history. He's been a 4-year starter for their ball club at Williamsville. He really likes to light it up from outside. In that particular play, Patterson just drains a 3-point play right there. And for Patterson, you can look at his numbers there. And he's an awful good player. They go to him right there, a little backdoor cut. But here's what I like about Patterson. Watch how he really stays with it, sticks it right back in the glass. He's a real true competitor.
And the guy who makes it go for the Foxes of McLeansboro is Benji Johnson. They have a little more balance, I think, scoring-wise than does Williamsville. But still, Johnson is the man both inside and outside.
Well, I agree with Benji Johnson's the go-to guy. He can hurt you on the inside, but also on the outside. And Benji Johnson's a good leaper, very quick, little spin move right there, gets along the baseline, gets a nice 2-pointer on that particular play. And Benji Johnson, he's a real force inside and also on the outside. But as you indicate, they do have a very balanced attack, but also 2 players, McLeansboro's Coach Reed indicated, bothered by injuries. Maybe Tennyson is something bothering him, and also the ankle injury of Brian Neal. But I like McLeansboro. They're a very disciplined basketball team. They play under control, execute very well on the half court also. This ought to be a fun basketball game. It ought to be an entertaining consolation ball game. And as you indicate also, Dick, 3rd place is much better than 4th.
And although these teams are not where they want to be right now, they are playing for 3rd place. Sometimes these games can be great ball games. There's a little bit less pressure, as we can see from past history, Greg. Now we look at the matchups for the ball game, and you see there that John Patterson is the man for Williamsville, and very likely Benji Johnson and John Patterson will be guarding one another in this game.
And that's the matchup to watch. You have to watch Johnson and also Patterson on the other end. So when you take a look at Williamsville's ball club, They're a team that's very explosive. They run and jump on the press. They swarm you with their press. They let their defense create some offense for them. I look for the ball game to be a game maybe early for McLeansboro where they'll really challenge on the inside. They'll want to get Benji Johnson involved on the offensive end early. They'll look to him on the inside. If the inside game's not there, Roger Phelps didn't shoot the basketball very well in the last ball game. Maybe Phelps can step up and give him a lift with some outside punch. And if the outside game's there for McLeansboro, that's going to open up Benji Johnson on the inside.
Of course, nobody shot it too well for Williamsville in the game this afternoon. Coach Kerry McVickers referred to it. This is probably a tired team. Their third game within the space of 18 hours. That's a factor.
Well, I think fatigue could be a little bit of a factor. The first thing to go on a player is his legs. And Williamsville likes to light it up from the outside, especially John Patterson. He's such a true competitor, but he still likes to shoot from the outside. He struggled a little bit in the ball game this afternoon, but he's had 27 points in 2 ball games here in the Assembly Hall. But I still look for an entertaining, a real fun matchup ball game. You know, people talk about the consolation game, whether or not the players come out ready to play, but in this one, I think you can throw that out the window. This is going to be a fun one to watch.
Third place is on the line. It's McLeansboro against Williamsville. And stay tuned. Our play-by-play coverage is coming up. One of your network sponsors is the Toyota Dealers of Illinois.
Ole, 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 ole. Toyota dealers are doing it. Holding their hottest sales event ever. With savings on Camry, the most trouble-free compact 3 years running. Talking auction savings, factory incentives, and easy financing on the best-selling Toyota of all, Camry. Toyota, more for your money. It's hot, hot, hot. Toyota.
American Family Insurance would like to remind you of all the reasons for choosing one insurance company over another. The most important reason by far is the service you'll receive when you really need it. Choose wisely. Look in the white or yellow pages for the American Family agent nearest you.
Williamsville and McLeansboro in the third place game, to be followed by the game that decides the Class A championship between Seneca and Pittsfield. The Bullets, with only 5 losses all year long. McLeansboro slumped at midseason in part because of an injury to Benji Johnson, so they've lost 11 ball games. Now for Williamsville, first state final appearance ever, so this will be their first trophy. Not so for McLeansboro, Greg. They won it all 7 years ago.
Now, they won the title back in 1984, and that was a ball club that was coached by David Lee, who's now the high school coach at West Frankfort. And the McLeansboro ball club knocked off West Frankfort to advance on the tournament trail. And the coach for McLeansboro, Kurt Reed, he was the assistant coach for David Lee. So the tradition continues for the McLeansboro Foxes.
And for Williamsville, before this year, the Bullets had not won a sectional championship in any sports. This year, their girls basketball team made it to the Sweet 16, thereby winning a sectional title. And now the boys basketball team in the Final Four. So it's been a very exciting year, athletics-wise, for the Bullets of Williamsville. Earlier today, Williamsville lost it to Pittsfield, 42-25. McLeansboro knocked off by Seneca, 52-42. And as a result, these two teams play for third place instead of for the championship. Our color guard coming out onto the court now, and we'll hear the playing of our national anthem in a moment, and then we'll meet the starting lineups for these two clubs, and then it'll be time to play ball. You can see that the hall here is pretty well filled, even though we have yet to start the third place game. Of course, it'll fill in further as we approach the championship game between Seneca and Pittsfield. Williamsville and McLeansboro here playing for third place as we now join PA announcer Steve Adams.
For tonight's third place game, featuring the Bullets of Williamsville High School, entering this game with a record of 27-5, and the Foxes of McLeansboro High School, entering this game with a record of 24-11. At one forward for Williamsville, a 6-foot senior, 24, John Patterson. At one forward for McLeansboro, a 6-foot senior, 42, Jason Hansen. At the other forward for the Bullets, a 6-foot junior, 32, Brian Oldsap. And at the other forward for the Foxes, a 6'2 junior, 33, Brian Neal. At center for Williamsville, a 6'2 senior, number 44, Tony Seaman. And at center for McLeansboro, a 6'2 sophomore, number 55, Shane Tennyson. At one of the guards for Williamsville, a 5'11 senior, number 14, Chad Corbin. At one of the guards for McLeansboro, a 6'2 senior, number 14, Roger Phelps. At the other guard for the Bullets, a 6-foot senior, number 20, Danny Watson. And at the other guard for McLeansboro, a 6'2 senior, 23, Benji Johnson. And now let's meet the coaches. First for Williamsville, assistant coach Dave Carter, and the head coach in his 4th season, Kerry McVickers. And for McLeansboro, assistant coaches Randy Smith-Peters and Brad Lee, and the head coach in his 6th season, Kurt Reed.
And tonight's officials, Milt Morse on your left and Terry Lipscomb, the man you see on your right. Third place on the line, McLeansboro faces Williamsville. One of your network sponsors is Ciba Geigy.
Seems like every day there's something in the news about the environment. People are concerned about the soil and the air, and about our water supply. They want to make sure it's safe for their families, safe for the future. I do too, because I work with chemicals. So I use them safely. I never use more than I need, and I keep them away from water sources, because I care about my kids, and I care about my land.
Brought to you on behalf of the American farmer by the makers of Duo.
Something new coming out every year. They're always changing something. Some old farmer told me one time, fool never changes his mind. So sometimes you have to do things different. Maybe instead of doing it the same old thing every year, the same old way, you have to change. If you don't, you're going to be down on the bottom.
Game here at the Assembly Hall on the campus of the University of Illinois in Champaign. Dick Lutke here, along with Greg Sterick. Jim Albrecht will be here to describe the championship game for you later on this evening as Seneca battles Pittsfield. One of those schools will win its first ever Class A state championship. Should be a fun evening, Greg.
It should be a wonderful evening of basketball for the state of Illinois. Class A state championship here from the Assembly Hall. I'm looking forward to this one. Johnson and Seaman ready to tip it up in the consolation game.
And it's Benji Johnson who wins the draw. And the Foxes start with the basketball. This is Roger Phelps and a man-to-man at the start here for the Bullets. The jump pass is to Brian Neal. And this now is Roger Phelps.
Williamsville opens in that man-to-man, and Chad Corbin's checking Benji Johnson. That's a mismatch. Look for him to go to Johnson down low inside. They went to him right there on that play.
But Benji did not come through, and Danny Watson in a trap underneath the bucket is able to work his way out of it. And the Bullets have the opportunity here to get themselves on the board first, which is something they've not been able to do so far in this tournament. They were down 15-0 against Olympia and fell behind at the start in their game earlier today with Pittsfield. Shot fake by Olsaf, and he gets the first basket of this third-place game. It's 2-0 Williamsville. Roger Phelps, the man with the basketball, got by Watson. And Jason Hansen deals it back to Phelps. Hansen to the basket, and it's 2-2.
Nice look inside. Hansen, little turnaround jumper, used the glass very well, got the two-pointer, knotted up at 2.
We're a minute and a quarter into this one, as the Bullets have it to John Patterson. He's their big scoring man. Olsaf to Danny Watson. And Patterson fakes the free and penetrates and creates and misses it too hard off the glass, and the outlet to Johnson was tipped, and so the defenders catch up, but Benji goes to the basket anyway, and they have a three-point play coming here. It's 4-2 McLeansboro.
Nice play that time by Benji Johnson. Just great body control and a good look. Benji Johnson as he goes to the line after he hit that twisting, driving layup, and you're going to have an opportunity to look at it right there. He's coming right into your living room or family room. Johnson, a little acrobatic move, a spin move, he twists in midair, gets it up on the glass. Two-pointer for Benji Johnson. Kurt Reed, a good look at the McLeansboro coaching. What a job Kurt Reed's done at McLeansboro in his 6th year, 123 wins and only 56 losses.
And a three-point play for Benji Johnson puts his team up by 3. The foul was on Olsaf, first of the game against either team. Here's Olsaf with it now. Patterson has yet to fire one up there. Watson with the pass to Seaman, but from the weak side, the ball taken away by Roger Phelps. Big defensive play for Phelps, and the Foxes have a chance to increase the three-point lead. Brian Neal, who hurt himself in the opening game of this tournament, is healthy now. Here's Johnson again, and he has another one. Marked down 5 points for him, and that's the lead. 7-2 McLeansboro.
Well, it's a mismatch. Johnson with a height and jumping ability on the inside, and Chad Corbin at 5'11" trying to check him. That's a real mismatch inside, Dick.
Patterson goes into this lane and spins the pass back out. And now double team, gets it outside again. Patterson for 3 here. Very short. And the Bullets chase down the rebound. Williamsville is a very good offensive rebounding team, especially considering their size. And the shot good, and no basket because the foul occurred before the shot by Watson.
Watson trying to create something there on the offensive end, and Watson hobbling around a little bit and came down hard in the semifinal game, bothered by that ankle injury too. The shot didn't go, foul before the shot. Hanson's first personal foul, and the ball still belongs to Williamsville.
First against McLeansboro. Here's the 3 by Watson, and he can't get the roll, and out of there comes Benji Johnson. Jump pass across the timeline, and here's Hansen. 3 by Phelps. Yeah, and McLeansboro leads it 10-2.
Phelps had his shoulders squared up there, had his feet under him. Nice jump shot that time by Phelps. And for Williamsville, Patterson's really had some problems getting on track offensively in the 2 ball games here at the Assembly Hall. He's now 8 of 30 from the floor.
Phelps a 38% free shooter during the year. Now Seaman has drawn the foul inside, and it may be against Jason Hansen, and if so, he's picked up a couple of early ones. It is. Neither of these teams particularly deep. They'll go 6 or 7 men deep, and so foul problems are something to keep track of. We have a timeout. 10-2. McLeansboro leads it early. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies.
Yeah, they all arrived practically at once. Red Cross, National Guard, and the insurance people from Country Companies. You know, nobody's going to forget that Allendale tornado. Half the town was wiped out. But within a day, the people from Country Companies were there with money, getting people back on their feet.
Country Companies. It's nice to know when it matters most. The country's behind you.
They finished when a lot of the other insurance companies were just getting started.
It's hard to part with a good tractor, but for greater productivity, you need to trade up now. That means a new John Deere with record-setting fuel efficiency, power, and torque, with tight turning traction, with smooth shifting performance, and a great deal. So trade in that high-hour tractor now and get the new John Deere 55 series from one of these John Deere dealers.
Good luck to all the Illinois high school basketball teams from these John Deere dealers. Fox is off to a fast start. They have the 10-2 lead. This broadcast is copyrighted by the Illinois High School Association and Cost Broadcast Sales Incorporated. No portion or portions of this broadcast may be reproduced without the written permission of the Illinois High School Association.
Gibson City, Gilman, Iroquois West.
The Bullets go to the line here as... No, I'm sorry. It is an inbounds pass. The foul was not in the act of shooting. The Bullets put it in play underneath the basket. Olsaf to do that. And he finds Seaman way up top. Williamsville had a heck of a time shooting the basketball this afternoon. Hit just 26% in that loss to Pittsfield. They need to shoot better than that here in the third-place game to defeat the Foxes.
And they're not off to a real good start. They're 1 of 4 from the floor.
As Danny Watson finds a man inside, that's Olsaf who puts it down. He didn't score in the game this afternoon. He has all 4 of his team's points so far here. 10 for McLeansboro, now operating against that Williamsville press. But how effective can the press be given the fact the Bullets have to be a bit fatigued? Shane Tennyson, the sophomore post player, with a good move.
A quick first step that time inside by Shane Tennyson. He's only a sophomore. You can see that left thumb is really heavily taped in bandages. Bandage haven't have to have it looked at after the tournament. May have a little a fracture in the thumb.
The interception by Phelps, and the Foxes now up 8, have a chance to increase the margin here. Lob to Tennyson, and he missed the shot. Good defense by the Bullets. They surrounded Tennyson after he caught the lob underneath the basket. This is Watson who got the rebound all the way down to the other end. And Seaman back out to Patterson. He takes it right to the defense and scores.
He created that one for himself. Patterson got into the lane area. He's really a slasher. He's a real outstanding scorer. He slips through the defense so well and also uses that glass. Got that one up on the glass, got the two-pointer. Williamsville back to within 6.
But Johnson ready to change that. He can't do it. Tennyson scores and is fouled, and he has the chance for the three-point play as the lead is back to 8.
Sometimes your best offense when the shot goes up from the outside, and if you got players that can control the offensive boards, and a player like that is Shane Tennyson right there, just hard work, and he's a real blue-collar worker inside and really goes to glass hard, gets the rebound and gets the stick back. And for Shane Tennyson, now 4 points on the evening, looking for number 5 at the line.
John Patterson picked up the foul, number 1 on him, 2 on Williamsville, and a free throw here for the sophomore Tennyson. He's short with it, and Williamsville has the ball knocked out. It still belongs to them. Josh Carter is now checked into the game for the Bullets. We've seen a lot of him off the bench as he is in there for the Bullets.
And the Fox is showing some full court pressure, and it works. The big steal that time by Jason Hansen gets it back to Phelps. Good look inside. Benji Johnson gets the hoop.
And a 10-point lead, the biggest of the game, as McLeansboro is off to a fast start here. 5 minutes into the game, they lead it by 10. Josh Carter to Patterson. And he'll shoot off the dribble and miss. The rebound tracked down by Watson. Williamsville continues to get those offensive rebounds. Can they take advantage? Olsaf can't do it. And another offensive board, and again they miss. That's been the story here for the Bullets all day, as Corbin had the opportunity there. This is Brian Neal for the Foxes. And a little bit of an adventure there in the corner, but Jason Hansen comes away with it. There's a nice lob into Neal, who takes advantage. Give the assist that time to Roger Phelps.
Good look by Phelps on the inside. McLeansboro with a height advantage and a size advantage inside, and they're really attacking inside, doing a good job scoring the points down low in that in the paint area, and now they're out to an 18-6 lead.
Here's Patterson trying to create on his own, and he did with Benji Johnson right in his face. Tough shot by Patterson, his second basket, the lead down to 10. And 2 minutes to play now in the first quarter as Phelps moves it across the timeline, and we have a violation against Phelps. And the Bullets get the basketball as Patterson now sits down. And back into the ball game comes Tony Seaman, who went out when Carter came in a moment ago. Gary McVickers may have to use a bit more of his bench in this one than he's used to. Seaman from 17 airballed it, but another offensive rebound, and then the ball swiped, but stolen back by Watson, who takes advantage and cuts the lead to 8.
Nice bank shot that time. A nice play by Watson. Came up with a steal and then used the glass and got the two-pointer. You know, when you watch these two ball clubs, it's not a surprise. Both of them appear just to be a little bit tired, don't they?
They are. They're not reacting quite as well as they did at the start of the tournament, but they seem intense. I think they want this one.
Sure, they're playing hard. There's no question about that, but you can understand why they would be tired. Both of them had 2 tough ball games this afternoon.
Here's Johnson driving, and a tough shot for him is way off, and Seaman has it for the Bullets, who look to come back. They've scored the last 4 points, and now with less than a minute to go in the period, they have a chance to add to the string. Danny Watson, and Corbin finds Josh Carter. Man open underneath, open for just a moment, and a held ball is called as Hansen tied up Watson.
Nice play by Hansen on the inside. Nice defensive play that time by Jason Hansen.
Out goes Corbin, in comes Patterson, as McVickers is going with a 6-man rotation here to get everybody a little bit of a blow early in the game.
Points in the paint. We spoke for McLeansboro doing the job inside. 15 McLeansboro points down in the paint area and only 8 for Williamsville.
Here's the pass inside. Good feed from Seaman down underneath to Olsap, who has 3 baskets already, and the lead down to 6.
Olsap definitely found his offense in this ball game, and he was 6 points, but that was a nice look by Seaman. Went up like he was going to shoot the basketball. Nice look, nice catch by Olsap to get the 2-pointer.
The offense a little easier to find when you receive passes like that. Foxes will hold it here for the final shot of the period. They have the 18-12 lead. A little more offense in this game this evening than we saw in either of the quarterfinal or the semifinal games this afternoon. Phelps spins by Watson, and the 14-footer is good with 4 seconds left. That was executed perfectly. 8-point lead McLeansboro, and a half-court shot in time is a little bit off the mark by Watson, and we've come to the end of our first quarter. It's McLeansboro here in the third-place game, leading Williamsville 20-12. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies.
Ole, 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 ole. Toyota dealers, get it this time. Toyota's hot, 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 hot. Their hottest sales event ever. Toyota's hot, hot. Start with 10 models priced under $10,000. Like Toyota Tercel, the lowest priced 2-door sedan in America. Or check out trouble-free Corolla, now with option package discounts that add up to big savings. Toyota. Hurry to your Toyota dealer now. Toyota, more for your money. It's hot, hot, hot. Toyota.
We want to leave the land like we found it. It's good, if not better. So we're worried about the environment, too. You know, we want to keep the water good and soil in nice shape. We want to try to cut down on erosion and things like that.
I've always heard this expression, you own land. Well, the good Lord has just made us a caretaker of that land while we're here. That's all it is. You don't really own it.
More than just the 20th annual Boys Class A Basketball Championship. It's also another big anniversary, the 100th anniversary of the sport of basketball. It was back in December of 1891 when Dr. James Naismith decided to try and keep some students active during the winter, put that peach basket up on the side of the barn, and the sport of basketball was born. Back over to Greg and Dick.
A lot of people are happy it was. We've certainly enjoyed this game for 100 years. Well, not you and I for 100 years, eh, Greg?
I hope I can enjoy it for 100 years. Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, we've got a few in and hopefully a few to go.
It's been awful nice to me so far.
Brian Neal to Jason Hansen for the Foxes, who have the 8-point lead at the end of the first period. The Bullets are in the zone now. They started man-to-man, but they've changed to 2-3 zone as Neal tries the 3. And Seaman tracks down the rebound.
Yeah, McLeansboro shooting the basketball pretty well. That time the shot didn't go for Neal, but McLeansboro now 9 of 14 from the floor. That's a little better than 60%.
And they might be a tough team to zone. They have some perimeter shooting ability in more places than just Benji Johnson. The pass inside, and Seaman can't do anything and brings it back out. Olsap with a good feed inside, and there's contact and a foul against Jason Hansen, who has picked up his 3rd foul for the Foxes. So it appears Kurt Reed will be forced to go to his bench here.
Nice cut that time by John Patterson. Williamsville really looks for John Patterson on the floor. He struggled a little bit shooting the basketball, but he still works so hard, and he's such a competitor. You really like the work ethic of this young man.
The Bullets put it in play. Patterson, a 21-footer. Yeah.
As soon as I brag about him, what's he do? Thanks, John. I appreciate that. Nice shot that time by John Patterson.
The lead is down to 5. And Roger Phelps has it for the Foxes. Here's Brian Neal against that zone. Neal gets it back from Phelps. There's the man open, and a great lob on the weak side to Benji Johnson.
Great look inside that time. Johnson delivers with a two-pointer. Still, once again, though, McLeansville able to go inside, either out of the man-to-man. That time they were in a 2-3 zone. You just went over the top, and Johnson got the lob.
The bomb by Patterson. That's his second 3 in a row. He has 10 points. Benji Johnson, who just scored a moment ago, has 9. The lead is down to 8. Excuse me, down to 4 at 22-18, as you see.
Those baskets by Patterson, those last two counted 3, Dick, not just 2.
Well, that would only make 6. That wouldn't even account for my error. Brian Neal to Roger Phelps. He thought about a 22-footer there and then thought better of it.
He wanted to answer that 3, didn't he?
And then he thought about what Kurt Reed would think of the idea. Here's Benji Johnson. Roger Phelps faces the basket and finds Hansen inside Neal. Nice ball movement, but good defense by Watson. However, the offensive rebound for the sophomore Shane Tennyson.
Tennyson does such a good job getting in position on the offensive glass. Nice stick back that time by Tennyson. McLeansboro up now by 6. McLeansboro 24, Williamsville 18.
Here's the pass into Seaman. Oh, that's going to be a charge, I believe. Yep, Seaman ran over Brian Neal, who established good position quickly.
Patterson a good look on the inside. Got it inside to Seaman. Seaman tried a little drop step. There's the pass. Nice entry pass. See the drop step there, but Neal right there just shuts off the dribble drive that time. And Seaman with a personal foul.
You can tell Tony Seaman knew before he looked at the official that the foul was going against him. Chris Hart in the game for McLeansboro, as Hansen is out now after picking up his 3rd foul. 24-18. Foxes by a half dozen. High post pass. Phelps down low. It goes off the hands of McLeansboro's Chris Hart, the man just in the ball game. He is a freshman, 5'10", 160-pounder. And the Bullets, who trailed early in this game by 12, have the basketball with a 6-point deficit. Patterson slices through again, but hit it too hard off the glass. That's a tough shot on the move. And the Foxes, with the 6-point lead, look for the good shot. 5 minutes to play here in the first half of our 3rd place game, the championship contest between Seneca and Pittsfield, with the Fighting Irish and the Saukees. Great backdoor baseline pass, but Neal missed the chance. They will get the basketball as it was knocked out by Josh Carter. We have a timeout coming here with McLeansboro leading it by 6 over Williamsville in the 3rd place game. One of your network sponsors is the American Dairy Associations of Illinois and Wisconsin.
Sure you boys will be all right?
Yes.
Into overtime.
Ah, the virtues of milk.
The kickoff.
Milk helps supply protein for strong muscles, phosphorus for good hand-eye coordination,
He's wide open, but it's picked off.
calcium for strong bones,
Whammo! And it's an end around. What a play! It's all over. Holy total!
and
Hi,
thiamine
honey. Who won the game?
They did to boost your morale. Milk, it does a body good.
Farming is a full-time job, and then some. You need a partner you can depend on, with extra power, with easy maneuverability, and the reliability that only John Deere tractors deliver. No wonder so many farmers like you pick John Deere 45 to 95 horsepower tractors. It's because farmers depend on John Deere.
Good luck to all the Illinois high school basketball teams from these John Deere dealers.
McLeansboro with the lead over Williamsville in the 3rd place game at the Class A tournament. You get a good look there at the Assembly Hall, and you can see this place pretty well filled in.
Well, they've got a nice crowd for the Consolation game. The crowds have been real good to it. All the sessions, and people have really turned out to watch some outstanding basketball. And they've got a good one going here in the 4th place game, the Consolation game. McLeansboro up by 6, but they enjoyed a 12-point lead, and that's when Patterson decided to warm up from the outside. Patterson with 10 points to lead Williamsville.
Chris Hart with the basketball for the Foxes, who attack the Bullets zone. They go right into the middle, and Brian Neal with a tough shot. He was bumped a little bit, missed the shot, and a good aggressive rebound by Patterson, but then he traveled as he staggered away from the contact. Kerry McVickers wonders about that one.
It's getting noisy in here, too.
Well, the people are into this. It is an intense game. That's good to see in a third-place contest, Greg.
I agree with you. Third place is always a lot better than fourth.
Hart up top. And they get it back to Phelps. Brian Neal at the wing. And the Foxes showing some patience here as they look for the good shot. Roger Phelps finds Neal, nothing inside, and so Brian Neal reverses it to the right. And now a three by Phelps. And the ball knocked, and Benji Johnson is the one who finds it. Good pass. Here's the layup effort for Neal, but first, 3 seconds is the call.
Good look inside, though. Benji Johnson looked like he had the shot. He's such an unselfish player. He delivered a nice look down low to Brian Neal. McLeansboro with a turnover. 3 seconds in the lane.
Carter goes to the bench. And back into the game comes Chad Corbin for the Bullets, who have a chance here to get to within 4 with a basket. Seaman at the top. This is Patterson. Guarded now by the freshman Hart. Now Johnson has him back on the switch. Watson inside. Seaman in good shape, and he shoots it in. It's a 4-point ball game.
Tough shot, too, by Seaman. Had to fall away from the defender, Tennyson, right there, but got up on the glass. A nice 2-pointer. Williamsville just won't go away. They just keep coming at you and coming at you with their pressing, their swarming defense. They play with a lot of heart out there and really play hard and play with a lot of emotion and intensity.
Wide open is Phelps, and he takes advantage from 17 feet. And the lead back to a half dozen after Roger Phelps scores his second basket of the game. This is Watson. Oh, too bad. Good drive into the lane, but then he missed a short jump shot. And Hart on the rebound. And Johnson with an acrobatic play.
Showtime right there. Johnson a little behind the back. Little finger roll for Benji Johnson. Gets the 2-pointer.
8-point lead for the Foxes of McLeansboro, who won it all in 1984, but they'll settle for third place here in 91. Patterson at the top. Missed it short. And Neal has the rebound. The freshman Hart, as the Foxes go quickly to the basket, but Phelps reads the defense and gets it back outside. Johnson creating again by himself, but that time he came up short, and back comes the Bullets. And an adventure for John Patterson to get it across the timeline. Here's the three by Watson. He gets nothing. And the rebound belongs to Roger Phelps as the shooting cools down a little bit here late in the first half. 2 minutes, a little bit more than 2 minutes to play in the second period. 28-20 McLeansboro.
Yeah, field goal percentage for Williamsville now. They're down to 45%. McLeansboro, though, still 13 of 23. Make that 13 of 24.
As the shot there by Phelps rattled the insides of the rim and popped away. And now we have a foul called against the Foxes on the rebound effort. And it's Shane Tennyson, the sophomore, who picks up his first. That's the first foul for McLeansboro for someone other than Jason Hansen. 14 fouls against them, only 3 against Williamsville, so not a lot of whistles in this one. It's been a rapidly moving first half.
Williamsville hadn't gone to the free throw line yet here in the ballgame.
And McLeansboro only once. We've had 1 free throw in the game. McLeansboro with the lead, and Watson trying to cut into the margin. As he misses it, we have another foul on the rebound effort. This time it goes against the purple-shirted Bullets. And Brian Olsap is the one whistled for the infraction. Just one little statistical note. The brackets have dictated that McLeansboro has been the home team in all 3 of their games, so they've worn only their white uniforms. The Bullets at the bottom of the bracket have worn only the dark purple. They could have left the other uniforms at home. Brian Neal with it for McLeansboro. Here's Benji Johnson. A minute 24 to play in the half. Foxes by 8, 28-20. They've led all the way. The biggest lead was a dozen. There's a bad pass, and Seaman schemes for the layup, and he missed the roll. Watson with a chance to follow. He did it and drew the foul. And the Bullets within 6 can make it a 5-point difference here.
Nice play that time by Watson on the follow-up. The shot didn't go. Seaman, you see Seaman take it in. Johnson may have bothered a shot and hangs around on the rim for a while and comes off. And right there, look at Watson. 3 times he gave a little pump fake, and finally he got Neal to buy it. And Neal picked up the foul. Another look there. The shot by Seaman comes off. Neal gives him a little push right there. Pump fake inside. Basket by Watson on the inside.
As the 3-point play is completed by Danny Watson. And the lead is 5. Boy, that ball covered almost the entire circumference of the rim. Against the pressure, a foul called against the Bullets. The Foxes were in a little bit of trouble there. Benji Johnson managed to dribble through the trap and draw the foul.
On Danny Watson, that's his first personal foul.
It is the 5th against Williamsville, and so to the line goes McLeansboro. Benji Johnson shot the first free throw of the game. He looks here for his 12th and then 13th points. They can make this one. He misses that one, as you see, and Olsap has the rebound, and Williamsville down just 5. Looks to close the gap a little more. Open is Olsap inside, but the ball stripped away beautifully. That's Phelps, who made a fine defensive play. And Neal with the ball. Well, you might as well go for the swipe in that situation because you can get a layup in it otherwise.
Oh, it's a nice strip of the basketball by Phelps on the play, and McLeansboro now appears to be going to take care of the basketball and maybe hold for the final shot of the first half.
Down to the final 35 seconds of the period. Brian Neal and Hart playing catch up top. Foxes by 5. Looking to increase the margin before they head to the locker room for a little rest. Hart, the freshman, with it here. And here's Neal with 13 seconds left in the half. Now Phelps. They want to find Johnson if they can. Inside it's Tennyson, and the foul is called against Patterson, who spun away from that call in disgust. He thought he made a clean play. He made it with 5.3 seconds left in the half, and free throws are coming for the sophomore Shane Tennyson.
Nice look though on the inside to get the basketball in the hands of Shane Tennyson. Did a good job of flashing into that post area, and he was able to be spotted by Phelps, delivered the basketball. Tennyson, only a sophomore, but he's got promise, doesn't he? This guy really goes to glass hard, only averaged a little more than 6 points per ball game, but had a real nice state tournament.
He did miss the free throw, and so it's still a 5-point difference. The Bullets will get a half-court shot away in time, but it's well short. Chad Corbin missed it, and we go to the locker rooms with the score: McLeansboro 28 and Williamsville 23. The Foxes led it all the way early on. They were up 18-6, and then John Patterson heated up a little bit, and Williamsville able to get to within 4 at one point. They're down 5 here at the intermission as you watch Kurt Reed, the veteran coach of the Foxes in his 6th season. He was an assistant coach for that team that won it all in 1984. Well, let's go now to Joe Passion, who is with Coach Kerry McVickers.
I know you won't mind. With Coach McVickers, this has been a consolation game that's been up and down a lot like the semifinal. What needs to get your ball club with a little bit more fire underneath it?
Well, you know, the thing is, just all day long, we're just not shooting the ball worth anything. And we don't look very good when we don't shoot well. We're getting the shots we want. We've got some wide open three-pointers. Had some tough rolls. We've had some balls go in and out. And this has been a long day at the Assembly Hall, shooting-wise.
Maybe it'll get a little bit better in the second half.
Well, I sure hope so, because it's been a long day.
All right, Kerry, thanks so much. Maybe we'll see you after the game.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Kerry McVickers, and we'll be back with more, but let's first send it back over to Dick.
Well, Joe, the Bullets are shooting it a little bit better than they did in the semifinal game early today, but they trail by 5. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies.
When my dad died, it was a shock going through all this stuff. I mean, I'm sure he knew what everything was, but to me, it was complete chaos. At least for all our insurance, he dealt with one agent who took care of everything.
Country Companies. It's nice to know when it matters most. The country's behind you.
I guess we're all gonna die sometime. My dad just didn't think it would be so soon.
It's March Madness at Harrison Motor Sales, Lincoln Mercury Dodge in downtown Taylorville. See the Harrison Motors teams for deals right now. If you want sporty and fun in the sun this summer, stop by and see the best of both worlds, like this 1991 Dodge Shadow ES convertible or this 1991 Capri XR2. Be topless and ride in style this summer.
It's March Madness at Harrison Motors, Lincoln Mercury Dodge in downtown Taylorville.
The half of our consolation game, we have a chance to bring you another segment of our tournament scrapbook. We're proud to honor a man who has made a big difference for many years to the IHSA. Liz Astroff has been executive secretary of the Illinois High School Association since 1978. Mr. Astroff will retire at the end of this school year, leaving a legacy of more than 50 years of athletic, academic, and administrative service.
In the long haul, just a variety of experiences, I think, like I experienced, that make you adjust to society and be able to move forward. And if you got all your eggs in one basket, it's not there. But there are those people that make it to the pros, and so that's the carrot that's held out. But that's not our program. That's not the high school program, and I don't believe it's good. I wouldn't let my own children do it.
His predecessors were C.W. Whitten, Albert Willis, and Harry Fitzhugh. Well before LeVere, Liz Astroff became the 4th executive secretary of the Illinois High School Association, he made his name as an athlete. Coming out of Wood River High School, where he played football, track, and basketball, he went to Illinois. He was a fine baseball player, good enough to get an offer from the St. Louis Cardinals. But football was his best sport. He started as a walk-on, catching the eye of legendary Illini coach Bob Zupke.
Zupke was an artist, and he liked to mold people and bring them up and take a person that no one had heard of and hopefully and discover the ability, if they were good enough, to play. By the same token, if you came in with the star with Zupke, he would try to tear you down to see if you had the stuff that you were supposed to have to play. He and I had a great relationship. I always was wondering why he was always talking to me, and so he's got a very significant spot in my heart.
Liz became captain of Zupke's last team in 1941. After graduation, he joined the Coast Guard, taking time out to play for the College All-Stars in 1942 and 43. After service, he started teaching and coaching. His career took him from Hoopeston to Urbana to Glen Ellen and Lombard, where he moved into administration. He succeeded Harry Fitzhugh as executive secretary in 1978 as the prime decision maker for the IHSA.
I hope that I've maintained the high standards that the Founding Fathers and all the people that preceded me have done, and I hope I've embellished them some or have remained true to their fundamental principles. But I can say this, that if I had really done my work, and the board has done its work by what the association members want, then I probably will be sustained, and I have been sustained probably 99.5% of the time. Because if I didn't, I shouldn't be here.
Now, this is the last year Liz Astroff will preside over the state tournaments. Retirement beckons at the end of the school year.
It's been fun, and the problem is it's tough to retire because I really feel good. I feel I'm active yet, but of course I'd be the last to know if I am slipping. But I hope some friends would tell me that. But I think those voices have told me it's time to let someone else run the ship.
Enjoy your vacation, Liz. We hope you're enjoying the game. We'll be back with more right after these messages from our local stations.
The Johnsons had an open house tonight, but the guests weren't invited. Luckily, the Johnsons had the Gold Star homeowners policy from American Family Insurance. American Family will repair or replace their house. Great protection on their contents, too. Gold Star Homeowners Insurance, the best protection you have against uninvited guests.
American Family Insurance.
Look in the white or yellow pages for the American Family agent nearest you.
Think your new car is protected against rain, snow, salt? Keep thinking. Today's unibody cars have hidden areas that will rust. They need state-of-the-art rust protection. That's why Z-Bart invented new Super Rust Protection. It penetrates seams and crevices, covers areas car makers, car dealers, and others ignore, covers you with a lifetime warranty and free reapplications. New Z-Bart Super Rust Protection leaves all others in the rust.
Well, in the prelude to the championship game between Seneca and Pittsfield, it's the third place contest, and it's been a good game so far. 28-23, McLeansboro has the lead. Both teams playing possibly, Greg Sterick, a little tired, but both teams are intense. They both want to win this game.
Well, I thought the effort was there out of both the ball clubs. McLeansboro got off to an excellent start. They raced out to that 12-point lead. They were able to get some baskets on the inside. Benji Johnson went to work on the inside. First half for Johnson. He gets 11 points, but then Williamsville, they just couldn't put him away. They just kept clawing back, fighting back, getting into the ball game. John Patterson began to light up from the outside. It really gave him a spark. He knocked those three-pointers, those back-to-back threes back, and here at halftime, it's still anybody's ball game. McLeansboro has some problems putting them away, and here at half, it's a 5-point ball game.
Williamsville, a very scrappy team. They've come from behind before this year, and they're hoping to do it again here in what will be their final game of the year. Stay tuned for our second half, and we'll return after these messages from your local station.
The evolution of the minivan is now complete.
$500 cash back from your Central Illinois Chrysler.
No matter what the weather's doing, you can bet it will change. You can't control the weather, but you can control the weeds. With Marksman. Marksman consistently controls tough broadleaf weeds in corn, even velvet leaf and cocklebur, in dry years, in wet years, year after year. No matter what it's doing outside, Marksman's outside working. Restricted use pesticide.
McLeansboro with an early 12-point lead, but Williamsville has come back to close the halftime gap 2-5 here in the third place contest. It has been an entertaining game. We've certainly seen evidence of that as we look at what some have happened in the first half, Greg.
Well, a lot of it for McLeansboro on the offensive end has been the play of Benji Johnson. A tough shot right there. Gets it up on the glass and just kisses it off the glass for Johnson. A nice play on the inside. Back the other way. A little spin move. Roger Phelps forgot to call bank, but we'll still count it. Goes off the glass for the two-pointer, and then back the other way. There he is, John Patterson. He dials it up from long range. Nothing but the bottom of the net that time by John Patterson, the three-pointer. And back the other way, McLeansboro on the tack. A little showtime there by Benji. Takes it behind his back, twists inside, gets the layup by Benji Johnson. First half stats, field goal percentage-wise for Williamsville, 44%. The Foxes at 54%. Free throws. One free throw for Williamsville, one for McLeansboro, and he dropped down the rebound department. Williamsville with a 3-rebound edge there. Points down in the paint, though. That's the big number. McLeansboro early in the ball game really hurt them down low. 23 points in the paint. Turnovers, 7 for Williamsville, only 5 for McLeansboro.
McLeansboro doing a good job of taking care of the ball against the pressure.
And when you look at the scoring leaders, not a surprise, the marquee player of Williamsville, Patterson with 10 points. Olsap gets 6. Watson chips in with 5.
And for McLeansboro, it's, of course, Benji Johnson who leads the way. Phelps not far behind. They get scoring from people other than Johnson, and Tennyson has chipped in as well, as you see.
Well, McLeansboro really a balanced attack in the first half. They still like to go down low to Benji Johnson, and he was spectacular early in the ball game down low. And stats for Johnson in the first half, 5 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line, 11 points, and 3 rebounds.
And so it's been an entertaining third-place game so far, an intensely played game, and we're looking for what should be a fun second half as we head for the championship game tonight between Seneca and Pittsfield. Those two schools go up one another later on, and you'll watch that game right here a bit later. Let's go back to Joe.
All right, Kurt, a little bit about your ball club in the locker room. How badly a third-place trophy is going to keep these kids' legs going in the second half of a very busy weekend.
I know it's extremely tough, and I think it's probably tougher on our opponents than it is us, because they just got through playing left and came right back, and it is extremely difficult. But I would say whoever keeps their legs under them for the next 16 minutes is going to come out the winner.
All right, Coach, hopefully that's you. Have a great one out there, and we'll send it back over to Dick and Greg.
We're about set for the second half, Joe, as McLeansboro leads it by 5. We'll return after these messages from your local station.
Hi, Gary Goodman, Royal Parkway Dodge, where safety is standard at Royal Parkway, like the new Dodge Spirit, which has a passenger side airbag and rear seat child protectors. Next, if you go into safety and you go into power, we have the new Dodge trucks, like the Dodge Dakota. We also have half-ton and three-quarter-ton models, and you can still get a diesel engine on our new Dodge trucks. So whether it's safety or power, we've got them all at Royal Parkway Dodge, 1600 South 3rd Parkway in Springfield.
What do you do on a boat? You fish. You get a disease that's called two-footitis. If you have a 23-foot boat, you want a 25-foot boat. You have a 25-foot boat, you want a 27.
Dream all you want. but no one ever won lotto without a ticket.
I think I'd go along with a 30-footer or a 34. You know, you always get 4-foot-itis or something. Now it'll be a 34-footer, I think.
Whether the Foxes pick up the 3rd or 4th place trophy in this game, it'll be their 4th trophy overall in the Class A state tournament series. For Williamsville, it will be their 1st, whichever one it is. The Bullets will start with possession as they trail by 5, and we're underway in period number 3. Dick Lutkey and Greg Sterick here. Jim Albrecht will be with you for the championship game between Seneca and Pittsfield. Seaman tried to reverse it to the weak side underneath, and the ball knocked away by Roger Phelps.
That's a tough pass to handle right there. They were fortunate to come away with the basketball on that particular play.
Olsaf will put it in play for the Bullets. Here's Corbin. Watson shoots the 3, and it's short. So many of Williamsville's shots have been short, but this is the steal by Watson. Great feed, and nice. Seaman puts the difference down to 3.
Nice pass that time by Watson. Nice fake, little drop pass, little bounce pass inside. Seaman scores it.
Oh, he stuck with the play, didn't he, after missing the 3?
Oh, he went back after it, picked up the big steal, and then he delivered the basketball in perfect position for Seaman to get the 2.
First possession of the second half for the Foxes, and Jason Hansen, who picked up 3 early fouls and had to sit quite a bit in the first half, scores the basket. His 2nd of the game, the lead back to 5. And the fadeaway jumper, an air ball by Olsaf, knocked out by who? We got a foul call against the Foxes. And so Williamsville will retain possession as Roger Phelps picks up his 1st.
Good look there, Roger Phelps, at McLeansboro's first personal foul.
Olsaf has to find somebody, and a tough pass to handle, but Patterson is the man who can do it, and then he goes to the goal and misses the shot. Hansen with the rebound for McLeansboro. Here's Phelps. The trailer was Hansen, and he has both baskets for McLeansboro here in the half.
Back the other way, a little secondary break, a little transition hoop that time. Hansen just squares up, knocks down the 2-pointer.
Watson to Patterson as the lead now is 7. Here's Seaman's long one. A little bit too long as he shot it short in the outlet. Hansen has a 2-on-1 as he pulls up and takes it himself, and that's 3 for 3 for Jason Hansen here in the second half.
He's pretty well taking control for the Fox. He got a little rest in that first half. He's got his legs back under him. Good start for McLeansboro. Hansen responds, 3 straight baskets.
Gary McVickers decides he better stop the bleeding right here. 34-25, McLeansboro with 6.5 to go in the period. One of your network sponsors is the Toyota Dealers of Illinois.
Ole, 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 ole.
Toyota dealers are warming things up. Holding their hottest sales event ever. And Toyota's hottest year ever means more value for you. So now catch the savings on Toyota's 4Runner. Get dealer discounts, easy financing, immediate delivery. Toyota, more for your money. It's hot, hot, hot. Toyota.
It's hard to part with a good tractor, but for greater productivity, you need to trade up now. That means a new John Deere with record-setting fuel efficiency, power, and torque, with tight-turning traction, with smooth shifting performance, and a great deal. So trade in that high-hour tractor now and get the new John Deere 55 series from one of these John Deere dealers.
Good luck to all the Illinois high school basketball teams from these John Deere dealers.
Hotel AmeriSuites, spacious 2-room contemporary suites, and a year-round indoor pool. Call 1-800-272-8590 or 217-398-3400. AmeriSuites.
Throughout this Class A tournament, we've been talking about one of McLeansboro's most famous alumni, basketball star Jerry Sloan, now head coach of the NBA Utah Jazz. But we forgot to mention one of his buddies, a former Saluki, along with myself. Football great Carl Mock also was a star at McLeansboro High School and recently got an assistant's coaching job with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of the NFL. They're all over from McLeansboro. Now let's go see them play basketball. Back to Dick.
The Bullets have the ball now. They trail by 9 here as we're underway again in the 3rd period. This is Danny Watson moving it to the free throw line, and he gets the roll, and the Bullets right back to within 7.
And a big smile out of Watson. He said, hey, I finally made one from the outside. And a look there at Coach McVickers, he's all smiles too. Maybe they've found their stroke from outside now. Here's Watson, a big steal right there. Takes it, gets it up on the glass. Another two-pointer by Danny Watson.
He didn't have to get that one from outside. He has 9 points, and Watson has put Williamsville within 5. Phelps now able to get it to Brian Neal. Here's Roger Phelps. Jason Hansen has scored all of the points for the Foxes here in the second half. He has scored their last 3 baskets. Neal, rather Johnson, with the great turnaround off the pass from Jason Hansen, and once again it's a 7-point lead. And Danny Watson the other way for the Bullets. Here's Seaman, his pass deflected, and Watson might have recovered that, but he knew that it had been tipped by Hansen, and so he alertly let it go out of bounds.
Patterson needs to get into the flow for Williamsville here on the offensive end. He's really not handling the basketball much. He's not having many opportunities to create and penetrate.
Seaman gives up the dribble and the ball. Watson against the man-to-man. Fox is basically a man-to-man team, and they've been in that defense all game long here. Patterson with a little whirl there, and Watson has the 3 opportunity. But Shane Tennyson is on the glass for the Foxes, and they're looking for the easy one, and they had it had the ball been caught. Good pass by Johnson to Hansen, but he couldn't handle it. And it's still a 7-point lead, McLeansboro. The Foxes have been in front from the start. But the Bullets are not about to go away as Patterson misses short. And Jason Hansen got himself in trouble and traveled.
A good defensive play that time by Corbin and Patterson. Hansen with the basketball and got caught in that double team, and when it collapsed, he was looking for a release and then walked with the basketball, so the ball's going to belong to Williamsville, and Patterson to be the trigger man. Turnovers, McLeansboro with 4. Williamsville yet to turn it over here in the second half.
You saw Josh Carter enter the game there. He's replaced Danny Watson for the Bullets, and the 3 is in and out for Patterson. And the Foxes with the ball and the 7-point lead. Phelps to Brian Neal. Reverses to the weak side, and this is Johnson underneath, and he's fouled.
Yeah, I really like the way that play was set up. A skip pass over the top. They threw it over to Phelps, and Phelps right there didn't have the shot, but that was able to spring Johnson down low. Good look inside, and right there on the play. Johnson was fouled on the play, but I like the way McLeansville skipped it over the top. The shot wasn't there by Phelps, and a quick look inside, able to spring Johnson down on the post.
Corbin nearly made the clean steal. He has those quick hands, but he was whistled for his first foul there. And now another whistle. Somebody off the ball using the arm to push off for the Foxes.
I think it was Johnson battling down low in position. Looked like he threw up the left arm. And that is going to be Johnson on the foul, and for Johnson, his first personal foul.
Second on the team here in the half, and the Bullets down 7 come back here looking to close the gap. We're halfway through the 3rd quarter of the 3rd place game. McLeansboro leads Williamsville 36-29. Olsaf down to Seaman, and it was Johnson who pried it free, and there's a 2-on-1 opportunity here. The man at the other end is Hansen, but his shot too hard off the glass. Johnson to Hansen, back to Johnson. Here's Neal, count the goal. What a play! What a play!
How was that play? And you didn't miss a call on the play. Hansen's shot didn't go. There's Johnson. He delivers up the floor to Hansen. Throws it up a little hard. Johnson battling inside. Looks like he loses balance. Finds Hansen. He's taking a little breather. Back to Johnson. Another look inside. Look at Neal inside. The big fella. A little spin move inside. Gets it on the glass. Good play on the inside as Neal gets the basket. Here we go again. Seems like Hansen's sitting in that same spot once again. Gives it up. Neal inside for the 2-pointer. Then Neal goes to the line. Now we're back to action, but Neal did cash in from the charity stripe for a 3-point play.
And it's a 10-point lead as a result as Watson misses for the Bullets. He gets it back, though, and in traffic, the Mason gets another shot off. Now it's Corbin who is fouled, and boy, those little guys really go to the offensive glass. They are scrappy.
Oh, Williamsville keeps battling on the inside, and they just can't seem to find the bottom of the net. Watson inside, look at how close the shot is to going right there. They just keep battling and working on the inside. Corbin right there goes up, takes it up strong over Neal, and Neal picks up the personal foul, and for Brian Neal, that's his 2nd personal foul.
3rd on the team, and the free throw is for Chad Corbin, who looks for his first point of the game with his team down 10. Now down 9. I just want to know how long McLeansboro practiced that play over there at the other end. I've never seen one like it, as Corbin gets 1 of 2, and the lead is 9, and they're going for the easy bucket again, but back on defense is Seaman to cut off Roger Phelps. Phelps to the top to Hansen. And here is Benji Johnson as Seaman goes down. Hansen gets the shot, and it won't roll for him. Now Tennyson will try. That's out of the cylinder, and another whistle. And neither team shooting it too well here in the recent going, as Brian Neal has whistled for the foul, going for the offensive rebound for the Foxes.
Well, they were battling on the inside. The shot wouldn't go down for the Foxes. For Brian Neal, he just picks up his 3rd personal foul. There's a good look at the McLeansboro coach, Kurt Reed, waiting for his ball club. Going to have a little talk with him, talk a little strategy, and if anybody can talk that strategy, it's Kurt Reed. He's a great coach on the sidelines. Does a great job of working on the sidelines. Worked under Dave Lee, who he was the coach of the state championship '84 ball club, and you know that was a real matchup when Kurt Reed's ball club McLeansboro went up against West Frankfort, and they upset West Frankfort. The Redbirds advance on the tournament trail, and the tradition just continues. And we heard Joe talk about the great Jerry Sloan that played at McLeansboro. Now the coach of the Utah Jazz, the only player in Chicago Bulls history to have his jersey retired, and he touched on Carl Malk, the outstanding college and professional football player. So the tradition just marches on. They do a wonderful job at McLeansboro in terms of the tradition of basketball. And now let's take it courtside one more time and find Joe Passion.
All right, thanks very much, Dick. The prizes, why do they play a consolation game, you may wonder? It's more than just pride. These are 2 of the reasons why. Not only do they get a 4th place and a 3rd place trophy, but medallions as well. And believe me, it may hurt for those who don't win at all when they leave Champaign. When they look at that medallion and go to school and see that one of these trophies in the trophy case, I think there'll be a smile worth bringing across their face. Back to a couple of smiling faces on courtside, Dick and Greg.
Yeah, we're smiling, Joe, because we're seeing a good game. Some outstanding plays in this 3rd place game, Greg.
Well, both ball clubs are playing very hard. It's really what I anticipated. A really entertaining ball game. These 2 ball clubs, there's no quit in either one of these ball clubs. They're going to fight you to the end. Even though McLeansboro got out to that early lead, they just can't seem to put Williamsville away. They just keep hanging around, chipping away at that McLeansboro lead.
That's the sort of team the Bullets are. Pesky, like a little mosquito that will not be swatted away. Here's the shot by Josh Carter, and he can't get it, and the Foxes are looking for the break right now. But the Bullets continually getting back on defense. McLeansboro will take what you give them. Kurt Reed has hit up on that theme several times this weekend, but the Bullets aren't giving them much as far as that fast break is concerned. Tennyson with it now for the Foxes, who do have the 9-point lead.
And they're looking to try and get it inside to Benji Johnson. Corbin on the back end of that zone defense. They're trying to get it inside to Benji, and right there's Benji. Good lead for Roger Phelps, who gets the 2-pointer.
They got it where you suggested, and Phelps is the one who gets the basket. And it's 41-30, an 11-point McLeansboro lead. Their biggest advantage was a dozen back in the 1st period. This is Watson, and he hadn't been hitting from the perimeter except one time earlier in this half. Johnson with the rebound. Tennyson almost lost control. Now gets it back and scores the goal that makes it 13. The lead 13, the biggest of the game.
Speaking of Watson, Watson really struggling from the floor. He's 4 of 13 from the floor.
And 0 for 6 now from 3-point territory. The Bullets have had trouble shooting the ball, especially here on Saturday. A long one for Olsaf. And it's the same old story. What an effort by Corbin on the offensive rebound, but he misses 2, and Neal has thrown it too far. Phelps able to save it in with an acrobatic play. This is Johnson to Hansen, and they get another wild basket.
Hansen with a hot hand, especially here in the second half. 4 field goals. He's now 5 of 7 from the floor.
And the ball game getting away from the Bullets now. It's a 15-point advantage for the Foxes, who want that 3rd place trophy that we saw a moment ago. Olsaf to Seaman, 14-footer. Everything is short for the Bullets.
Well, they just can't find the hoop. They're really struggling shooting the basketball. They're 13 of 39 now in the ball game.
Wide open Phelps, but he passed up the shot.
I think Coach Vickers made a good point when he was talking with Joe Passion right before the halftime when he was going in at the intermission. You know, when you're not shooting the basketball very well, it's tough to find anything good to say about your ball club with the way they're playing. The way you shoot the ball really dictates a lot of the rest of your performance.
Well, for example, the offensive rebounds, they're getting a lot of them again, but they don't help you if you can't put it in the hole.
Yeah, they just can't finish the play.
Well, right Right now, the Foxes trying to put the ball in the deep freeze for a while as we're down to the final 20 seconds of the third period. You can see the time left there in the lower right-hand portion of your screen. The Foxes up by 15 now, looking to increase the margin a little bit after 3 quarters. This is Phelps with a good move to the basket, but he lost the ball. Can they get a shot off in time? And no, as the buzzer will sound as the ball is stripped away from Danny Watson. And McLeansboro leads it by 15 with 8 minutes left to play in the third place game. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies.
I lent my car to my brother, and he demolished it. 2 years old, didn't have a scratch. Funny, about a month before my agent had recommended this extra keeper coverage, $21 more a year. I remember thinking, well, I probably don't need it, but if you think so. Turns out, they gave me a brand new car. This year's model.
Country Companies. It's nice to know when it matters most. The country's behind you.
Guess it's just a matter of trust.
Some men who brush their lives. I can write. I think I'm pretty good. I think the money would help me put me in a position so that I could accomplish some of the things I want to do in life.
Lotto's always worth millions. Hey, isn't your dream worth a buck?
Sometimes when you're feeling low and it seems like you got nowhere to go, just remember this song. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first annual Assembly Hall Class A Boys Basketball Tournament Food Fest. What we've got is the Columbia Band, our band of the day, that are going to be testing out some very special foods. Some of the favorite foods here at Assembly Hall, like ice cream, hot dog, nachos. Well, you got to have popcorn, and then, of course, a brat. And we're going to come back a little later and get the reaction on what everybody comes to Assembly Hall for, the food. Back now over to a very hungry-looking Dick and Greg.
Oh, that brat must be good, Greg. I'm going for one of those. Foxes will put it in play here as they lead it by 15, and the final period of this third place game is underway. Brian Neal. As you see, for the season, Williamsville a good shooting team, but not in either game today. The Foxes have increased the lead to 17 with the basket there by Roger Phelps.
So when you talk about McLeansboro, they've been on fire from the floor in this ballgame. They're 22 of 36. They're shooting 61%.
Well, that helps a little bit as Danny Watson finally gets a 3 to fall. He had missed 6 in a row before he made that one, and it's now 47-33 in favor of McLeansboro. Phelps with the fancy dribbling, and now it's Hansen going toward the basket. He finds Neal, and Phelps passed up the opportunity to shoot the 3. Jason Hansen spins it up to the top. Foxes in no hurry to shoot the ball. 7 minutes left in their season, and they want to finish on a winning note.
They do such a good job, though, executing on the half court. Very patient, looking to get the basketball to the open man. I really think they're looking for Benji Johnson.
Here's Johnson. They found him in a hurry, and he'll go to the free throw line.
See, the ball movement created all that by Benji Johnson. As they moved the basketball, little reverse action with the basketball, that enabled Johnson to get his position down low on that block. Then they delivered it to him down low.
Siemens' second foul. It's only the third against Williamsville here in the half, and Benji Johnson looks for point number 14, but does not get it. 6'2", 155-pounder, playing his final game for the Foxes, who lead it now by 15. Here's Danny Watson on the move as he finds Patterson, who has scored all of his points thus far in the first half. He had 10 of them. He still hasn't scored in the second half after the missed 3. Neal with a rebound, the layup for Hansen. The middle man was Johnson.
Well, Hansen having a nice second half for McLeansboro. It's really been a spark for him offensively here in the second half.
He sat a lot of the first half because of foul difficulties. He scored 10 of his 12 points in the second stanza. The lead is 17, biggest of the night. Seaman answers for Williamsville. Tony Seaman has 3 buckets. And it's a 15-point lead once again with 6 minutes to play. Tennyson with a pass that's too low for Hansen and causes the travel. Tennyson should have shot that himself.
Well, he had it looked like an easy shot. Decided to
deliver the basketball, went with the pass instead of the shot. Well, that's just being unselfish, I think, and sometimes I guess you can be a little too unselfish. But it's a good sign nonetheless.
I think a coach would much rather see that than the other way.
Exactly. Watson with it for Williamsville. He creates it himself, and the foul by Patterson over the back of Shane Tennyson. And it's been a tough second half so far for John Patterson.
But what a career he's had. The 8th leading scorer in Illinois basketball history. In one ball game this year had 44 points. He's been a 4-year starter at Williamsville.
This will be his final game for the Bullets. I'll remember him a long time in Williamsville as he goes for the steal here. Phelps finds Neal, puts it up and in.
That's a good look that time by Phelps. Patterson up all over him with pressure and able to give up the basketball like he did and find Neal down low inside. A tough pass, tough play, nice basket by Neal.
And back to a 17-point lead for McLeansboro. We're down to 5:19 left here in the third place game. The title contest coming up. Seneca's Fighting Irish and the Saukeys of Pittsfield. Josh Carter missed that one, but another offensive rebound for the Bullets. And Patterson wipes it clean. 52-37. The 15-point lead is McLeansboro's. Good spin by Phelps to get by Patterson, and a great pass, and Johnson finishes the play.
Another basket by Benji Johnson. Benji Johnson now with 16 points.
Well, I love those bounce passes, Greg.
Well, sometimes they're hard to handle, but was an awful good pass there, wasn't it?
Watson on the move. Here's Patterson's long one. And another short shot, but they've got another offensive rebound. Boy, how many times have we seen that?
Let's watch this. Let's watch this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Another nice basket by Benji Johnson.
Had that little bounce in his step, didn't he? A little bounce in his step, a twinkle in his eye, taking it to the glass, gets the two-pointer. Here he comes right here. Great body control, a little leaner, protects the basketball, gets it up on the glass. Nice play that time by Benji Johnson. Benji Johnson now with 18 points, looking for number 19. Johnson 2 of 4 from the line on the evening.
Olsaf with the foul, and the three-point play not completed by Johnson, as McLeansboro has its largest lead of 19 with 4:24 to go. Here it comes inside. Carter back out to Watson. And Seaman will fire. That one a little too far. That's the first time we've seen one go over the basket. It's usually short for Williamsville.
I used to always think when I put up shots like that someone was sitting behind the basket and they were moving the basket on me. That couldn't have been the case, could it?
Maybe somebody did move it. Let's check into that. We'll get Joe to see if we can find out about that. Yeah.
I bet Coach Kerry McVickers would agree with something like that, the way his ball club struggled shooting the basketball in these last 2 ball games.
Here's Jason Hansen in the corner for McLeansboro. They're in great shape here, up by 19. Tennyson tries to increase the lead, but can't. And Williamsville in a hurry. John Patterson, good pass. And the block from behind by Benji Johnson as Carter thought he had an easy one coming. Johnson doing it on both ends. Was it Phelps who made the block? Give Roger Phelps credit for the play. Johnson wound up with the ball, and here's Hansen to Roger Phelps. Tennyson delivers to Neal, who will try for 3. And the rebound is Patterson's, and the Bullets still down 19 with only 3 minutes left now. The foul will be called here against Jason Hansen, his 4th. And the Bullets will get to the line in the person of Brian Olsaf, as now a couple of Bullet subs get into the game. You see Dax Featon checking in, and Jason Sloman. They're both seniors, and they're both playing their final games in Williamsville uniforms.
Williamsville's had a tremendous year, though, to advance this far. They had to knock off some awful good ball clubs to get here, didn't they, Dick?
You bet they did. They're 27-5 heading into this game. Out goes Seaman and Corbin. They finish up their career. And listen to the hand from the Williamsville fans for those 2 seniors as Olsaf misses the free throw.
Second shot of a 2-shot foul. Number 10, Doug Siegel is in for Williamsville.
3:03 left in the season for these 2 teams. Olsaf with a big sigh and another chance from the line. Would be his 7th point, but he doesn't get it. Tennyson has the rebound. Benji Johnson to Roger Phelps. Johnson, 14-foot shot. Wide open. He isn't going to miss that one too often. 20 points for him in the game, and it's a 21-point lead. And with it here is Dax Featon for the Bullets. Now into the game, Doug Sagal for Williamsville. This is Carter. And a block by Tennyson, but they're going to call the foul on him.
He got a lot of ball on that particular block, but also got him with the body. Good call that time by the official, but he went up high to just swat it away, but got him with the body.
That's his second
foul on Tennyson, and it's Josh Carter heading to the free throw line. 2:37 left in the third place game, and a 58-37 lead for McLeansboro. As into the game for Williamsville is Scott Newman, a sophomore, and out goes Olsap, the junior. Carter's free throw is a little short of the mark. He looks for his first point of this game. Carter, a sophomore, threw that one too long. Jason Hansen with a rebound. Phelps to Neal. He finds Johnson. To the basket he goes. And the rebound effort, Neal has it. Good effort by Brian Neal. The lead is 23 here as McLeansboro is making this look a little worse than it really has been for Williamsville.
Yeah, McLeansboro definitely in control. About time to see some of the subs for McLeansboro come in here too.
And we are going to get some substitutes for McLeansboro, but not until after a timeout is taken. 60-37, McLeansboro has the advantage. One of your network sponsors is the Toyota Dealers of Illinois.
31, George Gray, number 3, Chris Hart, are all.
Ole, 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 ole. Toyota dealers are doing it. Toyota's hot, 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 hot. Holding their hottest sales event ever. Toyota's hot, 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 so low. With savings on Celica, Toyota's hot new sports car with big option savings. And check out the exciting MR2. Dealer discounts, immediate delivery. Toyota's hot, hot, hot. Toyota, more for your money. It's hot, hot, hot. Toyota.
Prairie Farms invites you to enjoy the best of the lighthearted dairy treats. There's light sour cream with 40% less fat and Trim and Light low-fat cottage cheese. Prairie Farms Trim and Light yogurt, 99% fat-free. And Light Premium ice milk, silky smooth and 95% fat-free. And an old standard, skim milk. Enjoy them all to your heart's content.
All right, our first annual Food Fest here at Assembly Hall. The band from Columbia High School tested all their food. And if you have any thoughts that they didn't enjoy that nutrition from the Assembly Hall concession stands, well, just listen to this.
We're underway once again, and the basket there is made by Scott Newman. Off the bench, and a big thrill for the 5'11 sophomore as he closes the lead to 21. We're inside of 2 minutes to go. The Foxes have emptied their bench. This is Jamie Brzezinski with the basketball. Also in is Joey Gray, and he finds Chris Hart. Hart with a pass inside, knocked up in the air, and the Bullets have it back. Dax Featon with it, working against Brzezinski. Now Doug Sagal gets it inside, and as Chris Welch tries to put it up, we have a foul.
Nice look inside, though. Welch very active down low on the inside. A little move down low on the baseline, then a little pump fake, and all that does is send Welch to the free throw line. Good look inside. Chris Welch posted up right there. Tennyson on him. Look at the pump fake right there, and Tennyson with the foul, and Chris Welch is going to have that opportunity at the charity stripe.
Chris Welch would like to put his name in the scorebook here in this third place contest. He was ill with the flu and was not able to dress for the game Friday night against Olympia as he gets the free throw. There's Kerry McVickers. It's been a long day for the Bullets, but a great season for Williamsville. And during the last timeout, their fans with their cheerleaders on the floor erupted into a flood of emotion. Boy, that's so good to see, Greg, in defeat. These fans really love this team.
Oh, they sure do. The fans have turned out here to watch their ball clubs play, and the crowds have been excellent here at the state tournament. Williamsville right now maybe a little bit sad, but really they've got to be awful pleased with the way they've played to advance this far, to be playing in this Consolation basketball game.
60-40 is the score. Williamsville with the deficit, and McLeansboro with the basketball as Hart finds Joey Gray, who hits the three. Gray, a senior, playing in his last game, will remember that moment for a while. 63-40.
He'll remember it the rest of his life. What do you mean for a moment? That thing he's going to tell everybody was from 35 feet.
As Doug Sagal draws the offensive foul for the Bullets. We'll look at that one again. Oh, there it is. It wasn't against Sagal.
No question about it. Ken Lloyd with the personal foul.
Moving pick.
Block, pick, whatever you want to call that, huh?
Wonder if he plays for the football team. Williamsville has a pretty good football program. They've been in the playoffs a few times recently. The man who will go to the line here is Joey Gray, who just hit the three-pointer.
Still thinking about that three-pointer. He dialed that up from long range.
Snicker, who had come into the game briefly, now leaves the contest, and in for the McLeansboro Foxes is Travis Hall. As Joey Gray misses the free throw, and the ball kicked around a little bit. A diving effort. Boy, these guys want it too. Produces a ball knocked out of bounds, and it'll be inbounded here by the Foxes. We'll look at that again. Good effort here.
Yeah, the ball's on the floor. Welch looked like he may have gotten a kick, but right there, Joey Gray goes after the basketball. Good play by Joey Gray right there.
Now the Foxes have lost it, so Williamsville has the basketball with 45 seconds to go. We'll get another sub into the game for McLeansboro. Jason Moore checks in. He's a sophomore. And out goes Jason Anselmans, who played briefly there for McLeansboro. The Bullets with Dax Featon on the move. Here's Sagal. His three is short. And Featon gets the rebound, and he can't get it home either. And now a held ball on the rebound effort. It'll belong to Williamsville. 30 seconds left.
Jamie Brzezinski from McLeansboro really getting on the floor and going after that loose ball. These guys want some playing time, don't they?
We see into the ball game now Jeff Brzezinski, who is Jamie's twin brother. The shot here by Ken Lloyd is good for Williamsville. 63-42. We're down to the final 20 seconds. Joey Gray. And here's Doug Miller, who just got in. Another three by Gray won't go. And coming out of there are the Bullets. This is Feet. Good pass. And the layup for Jason Sloman. Final shot of the third-place game hits the top of the backboard, and that ends our third-place contest. McLeansboro's Foxes, who won it all in 1984, settle for the third-place trophy here in 91. Kurt Reed, a happy man. His team lost in the semifinals this afternoon, but they do come home with a third-place trophy, as you see the players exchanging greetings as we head now for the big wind-up of the weekend, Greg.
Well, the next one coming up is a championship ball game. That's going to be Pittsfield against Seneca. But in this ball game, McLeansboro comes out a winner by the score of 63-44.
63-44, McLeansboro led by Benji Johnson, who had 20 points. Jason Hansen also dialed double figures. He had a dozen. Williamsville got 12 out of Patterson and Watson.
Well, Benji Johnson, 9 of 14 from the floor, 2 of 5 from the line, but he also grabbed 11 rebounds, so he gets 20 points in the ball game.
And Joe now is with winning coach Kurt Reed. Here's Joe Passion.
Well, I think Kurt's more relieved than anything else. A long, long tournament has come to an end, and on a very good note.
You said that right. I couldn't have put it any better. And it has been long and grueling, but it's enjoyable. I've been here many, many years. I've been setting up in the stands. There's a lot of coaches up in the stands, and when you get the opportunity to come and be involved in it, it is exciting, but it is also grueling. But the grueling part is worth, the exciting part is worth the grueling part.
Congratulations, Kurt, to you and your team. Way to keep the Foxes tradition going strong. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll send it now back over to Dick and Greg.
A good third-place game, and McLeansboro comes away with the victory, 63-44 over Williamsville. Championship game coming up. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies.
When my dad died, it was a shock going through all this stuff. I mean, I'm sure he knew where everything was, but to me, it was complete chaos. At least for all our insurance, he dealt with one agent who took care of everything.
Country Companies. It's nice to know when it matters most. the countries behind you.
I guess we're all gonna die sometime. My dad just didn't think it would be so soon.
Illinois Championship High School Basketball is brought to you on Fox 55 and 27 by American Family Insurance. All your family protection under one roof.
Alf and Willie trade personalities.
Food! Let's conjugate verbs.
On the next Alf.
Monday at 5:30 on Fox 55 and 27.
Seneca and Pittsfield will play for the championship next. McLeansboro, the winner in our third-place contest over Williamsville, 63-44. McLeansboro ends the season with 25 victories and 11 defeats, and Williamsville 27 wins and 6 losses. And it was, Greg Sterrick, as we thought it would be, an entertaining third-place game for sure.
It was a very entertaining ball game. This was a 5-point game at the halftime. It was 28-23 at the half with McLeansboro on top. In the second half, it was all Fox. It was a great start by McLeansboro in the second half. They really shot the basketball extremely well. With right there, a big defensive play by Danny Watson, a steal, and he gets the layup. A nice drive that time by Danny Watson. Looks like bothered by a little bit of an ankle. But for Watson, he had a nice ball game. He gets 12 points. Good lead right there. The ball goes up. Hanson can't convert. Benji Johnson, one of his 11 rebounds, flips it to Hanson on the floor. Back to Brian Neal. Slips inside, gets it up on the window for the two-pointer, and he was fouled on the play. Back the other way. Who else? Benji Johnson. Great athlete right there. Benji Johnson, a big ball game here tonight. Johnson gets 20 points in the ball game, and he's just had an outstanding tournament. He's not only a good inside player, but he also can hurt you from the outside. Goes to the glass. Also had 11 rebounds. What else can I say about Benji Johnson? The Foxes get third place. A big win for McLeansboro.
Both of these teams fun to watch, and they finish up their seasons now. In fact, the only two Class A teams left are Pittsfield and Seneca, who will do battle next here at the Assembly Hall. We have that one coming for you. One of our network sponsors is the American Dairy Associations of Illinois and Wisconsin.
Ah, the virtues of milk.
Honey, it's starting.
Milk helps supply carbohydrate for get up and go. Potassium
Nightgown, socks, makeup.
for fast decisions.
Hurry!
Magnesium for balance.
Mike, I'm coming.
And vitamin B complex to soothe your nerves
I've already missed the beginning.
during life's little misunderstandings. Milk,
Honey, are you going out?
it does a body good.
More adventures of a lifetime on the next Runaway. Entertainment tonight's Lisa Gibbons gets a real Swedish massage in Go Go Gothenburg. Dallas as you've never seen it before. Bop till you drop in the Big D. Say bonjour to the sexy south of France as newlywed Barbara Eden proves that dreams come true in the land of love. All on the next globe-hopping Runaway. Don't miss it.
Sunday night at 10 on Fox 55 and 27.
Williamsville losing to McLeansboro in the consolation game, so the Foxes take home the third-place trophy. Let's take a look at the final stats for you in our consolation game of the boys Class A tournament here at Assembly Hall. The field goal percentage tells a big story. Williamsville shooting only 34% from the field, while McLeansboro shot a red-hot 62%. Free throws were even. Rebounds again. They were cleaned up by McLeansboro, and that led the way as they dominated the paint. And, of course, with 14 turnovers, McLeansboro didn't matter. And we're very fortunate to have with us here as our between games interview. A lot of people know him as merely the governor of Illinois, but Jim Edgar, I understand, is a big basketball junkie.
Well, I enjoy sports, and I've made a few state championships over the years. It's the first time as governor, though.
Well, Jim Flint tells me that for over a decade now, you've had season tournament tickets for this tournament, the Class AA tournament, and you always make it.
Well, about every year, and even before that, when I was a state legislator, whenever I could get tickets, I always got here. So, you know, growing up in downstate Illinois, the basketball championship state tournament is one of the major events of the year. So, always considered it quite an accomplishment when I could secure tickets. So, that's one of the good things about being governor. I get good seats.
You're like a lot of other people, though, who are always trying to secure tickets, and that is tough, and we're seeing by a big house today here that a lot of people are here to see another exciting Class A. You know, being from the southern part of the state, you see how the basketball differs from the Chicagoland area. What makes it so exciting and dynamic for you as a basketball fan?
Well, I think it's just growing up around basketball and, you know, going to the games with a packed gymnasium and the excitement in the stands as well as what happens on the floor is a great combination. And I've always been a little surprised in some of the larger cities in the state, they don't get that kind of turnout. And I think they miss a lot because basketball, high school basketball in a lot of communities is the most important thing that happens. And it's really fun to be part of that.
Well, a lot of people, I think, agree with you tonight, Governor. We're very happy to have you with us. Thanks very much.
Good to be here. Look forward to the game.
All right, we're with Governor Jim Edgar of Illinois, and we will be back with more of our Class A boys basketball tournament right after this message from our local sponsors.